Guys, do you see all this crowd? It's all because of one car and one car only. The new Lamborghini Revuelto. My name is Cash and this is Cars. So here we are with the Lamborghini Revuelto, or the Lamborghini Scrambled, as the name suggests in Spanish. But it's actually a name of a fighting bull, very famous fighting bull. Actually the Scrambled makes a lot of sense for this car, to be honest, because this is the first ever Lamborghini combining the internal combustion engine with the hybrid technology. This guy here has a 6.5 liter naturally aspirated V12, which combined with the 3 electric motors creates 1015 horsepower and does the 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 2.5 seconds. Guys, this is the ultimate insanity of Lamborghini that they could come up with, and this is such an interesting surprise, because all the car companies nowadays are trying to downsize the engines or go full on electric, but not the Lamborghini, man. I'm so proud that they came up with this idea of keeping the naturally aspirated V12 in this era of the car industry. And right now, let me go through some of the design features we have for the Revuelto. As you can see, we have the Y-shaped headlights, as we had the inspiration from the Lamborghini Sian introduced some years ago. And you can see here that the Y-shape actually has some interesting features and makes the engineers capable of some aerodynamic features. You can see here underneath the Y-shaped headlights we have the positioning of the air intakes for the radiators, and in this car we have some interesting symmetrical features also. You can see these two glossy black balls in the front, which the one on the left is actually the radar, and the one on the right is the cover for the towing hook. So it makes the car more symmetric in design and more balanced. As you can see, it's kind of less aggressive than the Aventador. It's not as edgy and sharp looking as the Aventador, which I actually prefer, because these cars are meant to be driven in the street, although they are hypercars. Especially this one is actually a hypercar. So I prefer this type of design language, more softer ones, for the new type of hypercars. So, and as we move to the side, we have more Aventador looking design features, but here we have a air fin over there behind the front wheel, which sucks out the turbulent air on top of the wheels and drags them on the side of the vehicle with that other air fin, which keeps the air floating on the side of the vehicle, which is actually more efficient for the aerodynamic capabilities. And you can see here on the side we have a huge air vent, which feeds the cold air to the naturally aspirated V12, which helps the combustion and cooling of the engine as well. We have the beautiful hidden door handles. You can see here that we have a sensor for opening up the door, but as you go underneath we have the buttons also to open up the door manually, which are placed here. This is such an interesting design. And we have the fuel cap over there with the Y-shaped line on it. There is a lot of Y-shapes going on here, and man, as we move to the back, things get more serious and more unique to the Revuelto. Just take a look at the placement of the exhaust pipes. Man, this is so new and I actually love it. It makes the car look much higher, especially compared to the Aventador, and it creates more space to have more bigger rear air diffusers, which are actually more efficient for the drag and the aerodynamics. And you can see here that we have the active rear air spoiler. Right now I guess the car is in cheetah mode, which is the city mode, and the spoiler rests down to create a more efficient and it's probably the most efficient way for the car to drive in the city. And you can see here in the back we have some inspiration from Ford GT, which there is nothing else that reminds me of except for the Ford GT. You can see those pillars that are connected on top of the vehicle. We have those air vents channels, which literally remind me of the Ford GT. There is no other inspiration that I can think of. And you can see here we also have the Y-shaped tail lights, as the Y is becoming the main design language for the Lamborghini. But we have also some hexagon elements in the back, which are actually the exhaust pipes. There are actually 4 of them, but they have managed to keep them hidden inside these 2 beautiful covers in the back, which is actually so beautiful. And the most interesting part for me is the engine bay cover, which is actually reminding me of the open worked watches. This engine bay is not covered by any glass or anything, which is actually so insane and so beautiful. I'm so glad that the Lamborghini design team came up with this idea of keeping the engine bay opened, and you can get to see this beautiful, beautiful naturally aspirated V12 in the back and enjoy this insane looking engine bay cover. Look at this, all the carbon fiber we have on this car, and the engine is actually 17 kilos lighter than the previous V12s used on the Lamborghinis. So you can see that all this carbon fiber also makes sense to reduce the weight. I'm so glad that the Lamborghini didn't reduce the engine size and they only tried to reduce the weight. Man, this is such an insane looking car. And we can see right now the scissor doors, as we have on all the flagship models of the Lamborghini. And I guess we are lucky right now to be able to hear the beautiful V12. Look at the lighting on the engine bay cover, man. Look at the lighting on the top, so beautiful.